Today we're going to talk about 2 at-home remedies for toothaches. Hey everybody, I'm Dr. Steve Broughton, this is Dr. Angie Dunn, and we're with Light Dental Studios, and this is an unprecedented time. We are stuck at home, most of the businesses are closed, including dental practices, and what do you do if you get a toothache at home? And we thought, let's share a couple of things that you can do, and there's lots of different types of toothaches and lots of different dental emergencies, and we're going to talk about just a couple today to share, and these are the most common ones.
If you are having short-term cold sensitivity, it's important to know the structure of the tooth and how it works. So a tooth, when you look at it under a microscope, it has a bunch of little pores from the surface of the tooth to the center where the nerve is. And the nerve, it's rudimentary. It sends one signal to the brain, and that signal is pain. So anything that makes the fluid in those tubes move makes the nerve fire, and you go, ouch, that hurts. And you know that it's cold because you just took a sip of cold water. A really good trick that we recommend to our patients, you can use a desensitizing toothpaste that has potassium nitrate in it. That is the important ingredient to look for. And what it is, it's a salt. And so it goes into the pores of the tooth and it crystallizes in there, and it creates a physical barrier so that fluid stops moving and the nerve stops firing. You can brush with a desensitizing toothpaste that has potassium nitrate, but there's a trick that Dr. Broughton and I have been telling our patients for years to do, and he's going to demonstrate it. You take a little dab of desensitizing toothpaste on your finger, and you want to rub it into the area that's really sensitive, that short-term cold sensitivity, for 5-10 seconds, and this is the very last thing before you go to bed. You have to have brushed, you have to have flossed, you don't want to rinse it away, you don't want to brush it away, and that allows that salt to get into those tubules of the tooth and desensitize it.
And it tastes good.
And what you want to do, don't go test it with ice water the next morning. It's not going to work that fast. It takes some time for the salt to build up. And so do it for about a week. You should notice some improvement. It can come back because it is a salt, so it can dissolve and wash away and the sensitivity can return. If you're having that cold sensitivity and it does come back or it gets worse, you definitely want to see a dentist to see if there's a bigger issue going on. And that's where Dr. Broughton's going to talk about that longer term, or the aching cold sensitivity.
Yeah, so the second type of sensitivity is the more dangerous type. It'll start off cold, and then it sticks around, and it starts to morph, and it will get more achy and throbby. Sometimes people will report it like a heartbeaty kind of pain, and it pulses. That is a type of pain that you need to see a dentist for, but there's some short-term things that you can do. And you're going to see 2 broad products. These are the 2 common things that people talk about. One is, actually there's 3. Let's go over 3.
Okay.
So one is aspirin. This is a common remedy. People will say, take an aspirin and put it on your tooth. And that's a really bad idea because aspirin burns. So don't use that one. The second one is Oragel. It's a common manufactured product. They're very expensive, and it uses something in it called benzocaine, a 20% solution of benzocaine. We actually use benzocaine in the dental office. It's the jelly that we put on your gum before we numb you, and that is a short-term anesthetic. It lasts maybe 10 or 15 minutes. The Oragel is really expensive too, so that's not our preferred method. You can use it, but it's just a short-term gain and it costs a lot. So here's a home remedy that you can do that's inexpensive. You can make it easily, and it lasts about 2 or 3 hours, well past the benzocaine.
Yeah.
What you do, and we'll take 1/8 of a teaspoon of olive oil, and you put it in a dish, and then you're going to take 5 drops of clove oil, and you can get the clove oil in a pharmacy, you can buy it online, but 5 drops of clove oil. You mix it together. You're going to put it on a cotton swab, just a Q-tip, and then you're going to drive it into the tooth. And if you've got a little hole in your tooth, that's usually the common place where it's coming from. You'll kind of know. You'll say, oh, it comes in this general area. And then you go back, and sometimes you'll see the hole there, and you put it in the hole, and you drive it into the tooth for a couple of minutes. And you can just re-swab, keep it going in there, and that gets down, and it'll coat the tooth, and it's a natural anesthetic, and it'll sit and last. At least it gets you through a couple of hours until you can see a dentist.
So ibuprofen and Tylenol work on pain a little bit differently. So if you take a dose every 4 hours, we have found great success at helping to bring that sharp pain or that deep pain down to a controllable level.
So just as a reminder, we do have 4 of our 16 locations open for dental emergencies. So feel free to give us a call. We will bring you more tips and tricks of other remedies that you can use at home to deal with dental emergencies over the coming few days. So watch for those videos. Thank you, everybody. Hope you found it helpful.
Yeah, stay safe, stay healthy.
Okay.